Dawson Rider Wiki.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here with my review of LVUR Series 01 of Kamen Rider Ex-Aid. I guess it's level 1 and 2. But so this is, if you do not already know or are not familiar, is our standard figure line for the year. Each year for quite some time now, since I guess Decade, or Double, depending on how you look at it, started this Gimmick line, which usually has our generic figures for the year combined with trying to represent whatever the gimmick is, and in this case it is the leveling up from the little chibi level 1s to the standard riders. So this is interesting. We'll definitely get into this. Obviously, because it's the review, why we wouldn't get into it? What am I even saying? Anyway, so we're going to start with the box because I'm like already losing control of myself because I just go on random tangents. So this box is the biggest box of the releases so far. We might get another one of this scale later if there's some other element that needs to be added in. But the reason for this is that in addition to the figure, it comes with this level 1 carcass, which is necessary to basically have fun with the gimmick of this line for any other ones you buy. So the rest are standard small size boxes, but this is double sized. As usual, the Japanese boxes are nice. They reflect the spirit and the art of the series. You can obviously see the two pictures of the forms here. It's got action on there. It's got colors. It's got everything the series is about itself. It shows you what to do with the figure. Various promo shots. Here the same thing. And then it does a little quick advertisement for Brave. So, yes, it does that. So, as you can see here, we have the figure, which is going to fall down. I'm just going to let him. And he comes with the form of his weapon, which I have in his hand, which is the hammer form, and the sword form, which you can see. They're both generic. I don't even need to try to focus it on the camera because they're basically both generic, just pink weapons, kind of like the standard PR, just one color. Nothing too special about it. So as far as the figure goes, these maintain the basic same quality as we've had for several years now, which if you haven't seen my previous reviews, I always describe it as like a midway point in quality between a 5-inch Power Rangers figure and a Figuarts. So I said that really funny, a Figuarts. I said like a Figuart, I don't even know. But bottom line is they're pretty good figures in terms of just standard display. The head sculpt here I think looks pretty good. Something I really appreciate, which they usually do with stuff like Compound, but you know, you have the eyes under here, but they have a nice little clear plastic. It just kind of adds to the way it looks in the show. The same thing, clear plastic over his little like bra breastplate here. He's a very colorful rider. They capture that. They capture all the basic details. As per usual, the driver is very, very basic. But yeah, they get all of the basic details there. And honestly, for this line, he looks fine. There's his little backpack face of level 1, which is going to be used for the transformation, obviously. The articulation for these remains the same. A nice 360 joint here. You got your swiveling. You have the little hand action joints, which I always talk about as carried over from Shaku Henshin. I don't know if they're carried over, but it's just what I remember them for, which you can move the things individually so you can put weapons in his hand. The only reason I'm spending so much time on it this time is I found with both this and Brave, I'm having a hard time getting them to hold it. Like, this isn't the most reliable grip, but I don't usually have this much trouble, sans a few cases, but I just wanted to point that out. Alright, so I got leg articulation here, nice range of motion, you got your swiveling, you got your single knee joint there. Oh, it's actually, I didn't even think about that. It can behave sort of as like a almost triple knee joint because of the way it needs to be for transforming. Granted, this isn't going to be the most organic thing looking in the world, so if you're wanting to do some sort of weird rider kick pose, specifically if you have like a Tamashii stand or something, you're basically doing them in a, hey, I got in an accident and ripped my leg in half, but I'm not going to the doctor pose. And then you have like a little ball joint here on his foot, which is good for like wide range poses. And you can swivel him here, and you have a little ball joint on his head for up and down and range of motion. He is kind of hindered by his neck thing, but if you really want to pull an exorcist, you can do it. You can put your mind to it. If you dream it, you can live it. Okay, so yeah, overall, solid standard figure. If you're excited by Ex-Aid, can't wait for the figure art. You don't really want the vinyls. You want a figure right now on your desk to mess around with, to keep you company on your shelf. Whatever, you're excited. This is a good standard figure for that. So, for the gimmick is you basically stuff this guy into that level 1 carcass. Now, the only prep you have to do is, first off, take the breastplate off. There's a little sort of fingernail holder here, which you use to pull that off. I was initially thinking, you know, this is unnecessary. They should just leave the breastplate on level 1. The word breastplate's really awkward, but I forgot that they all have individually different ones based on their style. There's like different weapon buttons on here. So yeah, that's kind of a neat thing. Anyway, so for this, you're basically gonna flip these around so that his kneecaps are on the opposite side, and then fold these up and fold his legs out. And we'll have to do some finagling once we get in there. And then the instructions show you twisting his arms around and basically just put him at his side. The twisting of the arms around is really only helpful for Brave. You'll see why when I do his review. And then just lift this up. So that's cool. So that already looks kind of funny, to be honest. Okay, so now this level 1 carcass, you're just basically going to put him in here and just sort of finagle it. And there's a little slat right here that goes right here, so it'll actually properly snap in. And just sort of make sure that goes, and then finagle this to your liking. You can move these around up or whatever, but this gets the job done so you can't see it. And there you have your little level 1. The only thing that can move on this guy is his arms. You can still see his head, you can move it down, but yeah. Oh yeah, the breastplate. How could I forget? I said breastplate like a million times in this review. There you go. There you go, buddy. Sorry about that. So, yeah, he looks okay. I'm really torn on this gimmick because I like it in the show. I'm just saying, it's very odd. I think there could have been something different with it, but that's a whole other story. But the point is, I get what they're going for here. There's a cool idea here, for sure. It's just, it's not there. This looks fine, honestly, in terms of this. But it's not the best. Like, I don't know. Like I said, this looks okay, but you can't display them both, so it's kind of like, I guess that's the purpose, though. I don't know. I'm very confused about it. I think my main grievance against this is even how it looks here, because this is honestly okay. You can get sort of little poses with him. He looks like he's about to play a video game. You can put the, weapons in his hands, whatever you want to do. So that's kind of okay. Honestly, this is fine. It's more of a nitpick, if anything else, that I think that maybe something could have been done here to make this a little bit more intuitive and cool. But overall, this isn't the problem. The problem is that you have to buy the first figure and get this level 1 carcass for the rest of the line to make sense. And for the life of me, I mean, I can't think of another one that was like that. In this type of line. I mean, great, you're going to have more fun with most of these lines from double through present, usually if you have more than one figure, whether it be Gaim armors, ghost jackets, O's body parts. You're going to get the most out of it if you buy at least one more. But with this one, you have no choice. And that's fine. Like, if you want Brave or Snipe and you just want a figure of him, cool. But if you're looking for the sort of fun of this line, it's kind of a bummer that you have to buy basically the equivalent of buying a driver to enjoy the rest of the line. It's like having to buy a console, but for the figures. And it's kind of a torn thing, which I'll probably get into this in Brave's review as well, and I apologize. But it's kind of because it would cost more money to have each one of them come with this, and it basically be the same. But at the same time, not only do you have to buy this one to enjoy the rest of the line, but you can't really have much variety with any of them with just the one. Like, if you buy all the figures, including this one like me, you're buying the whole line, great, but you can only display one level 1 or use one level 1 at a time. So, yeah. I started to go on such a tirade or whatever, not really a tirade, but it's very mixed emotions about this line. I guess bottom line for some sort of verdict after that just word vomit at you is that I think by itself the level 2 figure is a very nice figure, and if you are like me and you're just excited for Ex-Aid and you want something posable and you're not waiting for the figure art, go ahead. I think that's perfect for that. But in terms of the gimmick of this year and the fun of it, I think they missed the mark. I think the idea is there, but I think that it is more hindering than it is creative. If that makes any sense, personally. But anyway, probably hear most of these same points in Brave, so I apologize for my sequel to this, Electric Boogaloo, all that. But anyway, until next time, make sure to check out the Crazy Podcast at writersrangerambles.com. And of course, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Till next time, Dawson Ryder, signing out.